Hello, everyone. My name is Yuhyun Park. I'm the founder of DQ Institute. DQ Institute is an international think tank to set the global standard for digital literacy and digital skills. So why we need a global standard for digital skills and digital literacy? After COVID, as we all know, digital transformation has been happening all around the world, and especially parents and teachers are so much concerned about how we can properly educate our children to be ready for the future. So DQ serve as a common language and common framework for everybody to understand what is the digital skills we need to learn to thrive in this fourth industrial revolution and AI age. So DQ Institute has been working together with the various stakeholders and international organizations to help the nations to set what the digital skills are needed for the future generation. But if you're a parent, probably the first thing that you are worrying will be, is online space is safe enough for our children to learn and play over there? Unfortunately, currently digital space is not very friendly to our children, even though our children are born in this digital space. Our research shows that 60% of 8 to 12 years old children online are exposed to at least one cyber risk, including cyberbullying, game addictions, unwanted risky contact, cyber threats, and more. But it is important that we don't disconnect our children from the digital world. It is rather, we have to empower our children to be an independent thinker who can minimize the risk and maximize the potential. So that's where the digital skills and DQ, just like IQ and EQ, DQ is needed. So you can think the DQ is new intelligence in the fourth industrial revolution and more. If IQ and EQ was important after second and third industrial revolution, we need to think about what is the intelligence that is needed for our future generation when AI is living with us. So we look at the 8 area of digital intelligence. So digital skill is not just about coding. It's not just about creativity. It is about how we can live successfully, safely, and live well in this digital technical world. So it has to encompass all area of digital life, starting with our identity and our use and our safety, security, emotional intelligence, and communications, literacy, and rights. So we look at the 8 different areas of digital intelligence. And also we look at the 3 maturity level. So it's like a lifetime learning in a way. So when we are born, we know how to live, right? Just like when we go into the digital world, we know how to become a digital citizen. We know how to live well in the digital space. That's the first level of digital citizenship. When we know, and we know how to turn our idea to reality, which is digital creativity. And then we need to translate our creative idea and our content and technology to be a future value, which we believe that is a digital competitiveness. So DQ framework is just like this, 8 areas of our digital life and 3 different maturity level. So we have 8 times 3, 24 areas. So we call it DQ 24. And we really strongly believe that all digital skills have to root it in the value, our universal moral value, we become more human in this AI age and technical world. Today, I want to touch upon which I believe most important skills, which is digital citizenship skill. which is a prerequisite before you go to the coding, creativity, and other competitiveness area. A lot of people think that the digital citizenship is something natural to our children, but actually it is not. So we want to touch upon this 8 digital citizenship skills that we want every children's are equipped with. So as I shared before, it is about how to minimize the harm, but maximize opportunities. So we look at the 8 different digital cyber risk area, including cyberbullying, the technical overuse, which is game addiction, social media addiction, mobile addictions, online grooming, violent content, and false information, disinformation, misinformation, cybercrime, privacy, and more. And digital citizenship skill is more about how we can maximize our opportunity, and then we thrive. So this is like confidence. We give the confidence to our children to thrive in this digital age. So many people worry more about the cyber risk rather than actually empowerment, but which is, I think it is also important concept for us to understand. Cyber risk does not mean that it is actual harm or danger. It is actually potential to lead to the harm and dangers. So when we expose our children to, without the equipment of digital citizenship, if children are exposed to a lot of cyber risk, it actually affects their school grades, their relationship and mental health, altogether future potential. But when we equip children, even in the same environment with the digital citizenship, we can help children to wise use of digital technology so they can make the right decision with the values, and they can prepare themselves for the future with confidence. So this is actually a very critical part that we wanted to ensure our children. So with that mission to equip every child with the digital citizenship, our organizations has been working with more than 100 organizations, a global movement called DQ Every Child. So we actually target 8 to 12 years old to get this digital citizenship in a full way. And it has been our 3rd year. And we'd love to actually work with people in Chile and in Latin America to further equip our children with digital citizenship. So far, we touched upon about the million children across 80 countries. And when we actually educate children with the digital citizenship, we saw that about the 10% of DQ, like IQ, increments of DQ at the same time, which is related to about 15% decrement of the cyber risk. So I'd like to introduce DQWorld.net, which is the online education platform to teach children to learn about this DQ by themselves. So if you're interested in, please let us know. But this is actually for the empowerment of children and families and schools. And at the same time, but lastly, I want to share with you about the Child Online Safety Index, which is linked with the DQ World education system. So when children learn about this topic, parents will receive the scorecard of their children's DQ. It is not about making children to be another scorecard, good or bad. It is about helping the families to understand where they stand in terms of their children's digital citizenship, so family can work together and parents can help their children to better equip. So thinking this DQ scorecard as a starting point for the families to have a conversation. Just like family scorecard, we also provide the school scorecard. So school can better prepare for their school's curriculum and how school can help their students to learn about the digital citizenship and better prepare for the digital creativity and competitiveness further. And lastly, I think it is so important the nations to understand whether the nations are having the right infrastructure not just about hard infrastructure, soft infrastructures to ensure our children to be empowered at the same time being safe. So Child Online Safety Index has been developed for nations to understand where their stance in terms of the COSI, so they can improve further. So 2020 February, we launched the first Child Online Safety Index across 30 countries. And what we found is that it is so important for holistic frameworks for nations to have. So we have to look at not just about children. We are usually like when children are in too much screen time, they worry about cyberbullying. We try to just tell the children that, okay, behave well. But actually, it is not just about the children issue. It is about the whole ecosystem to work around. So please let us know if you're interested in to work with us to improve the all area of our digital life and all sectors to work together with the same mission to protect our children from the harm and also empower them to become the future leaders. Lastly, I wanted to share our new initiative from the 2021. DQ has become the global standard, world first global standard for digital skills with IEEE standard associations. And one thing that we'd like to actually roll out is digital skills for all. So what we found is that in order for all children to be equipped, one of the key initiatives that I'd like to introduce is Child Online Safety Index. Just like DQ World is helping parents to understand about their child's online safety and digital citizenship through DQ Scorecard. We also help nations to understand about the level of their infrastructures across all stakeholders ecosystem around children's parents, schools, soft infrastructures, and hard connectivity. We announced this the first Child Online Safety Index in 2020, Safer Internet Day. And we invite all stakeholders around our children to work together to improve all the infrastructure around the children to improve the child online safety and empowerment of digital citizenship. And in order to do that, through our DQ Global Standard, we are supporting organizations who are working on the digital skills to have the certifications of the DQ standard, so that any organizations and any educators can provide the high quality digital skills training. Thank you very much for the invitations and the opportunity to speak at this wonderful forum. And I wish the best, and 2021 will be the great year to empower our children to become a new digital leader. Thank you.